web exclusive snaps from behind the scenes, and it's live right now, so jet on over there. Right, it's time for a short break, but later in the show...
Oh, it's going to be a speed up.
John takes to the streets of Rome with the latest fold-up bikes. And impresses the locals with his lovely blue helmet.
Welcome back. Now I want to talk to you about bikes of the folding variety. They're a marvellous idea. Trouble is, they're a tricky gadget to get right. They've got to be easy and neat to fold on the one hand, but very pleasant to ride on the other. Well, to do some folding bike testing, I headed off to a very busy city. City streets don't get much more challenging than the streets of Rome. Here there's every type of urban riding environment imaginable, from traffic-strewn multi-lane highways to quiet cobbled back streets, which makes it perfect for a folding bike test. This Roman odyssey saw me travelling from a statue of Garibaldi on the outskirts to the Colosseum in the centre on 3 of the latest folding commuter bikes. The good-looking Giant Halfway, the compact Django Flick V9, and the performance-focused Montague Fit. For the first leg of my trip across Rome, I'm going to use this, the Giant Halfway. It's trying to be a sort of best of both worlds intermediate-sized folding bike. Let's see. Oh, it's going to be a speed up. First impressions are very good. Feels very rigid, doesn't feel like a folding bike. And the 20-inch wheels are big enough so you don't feel like you're falling through the holes between the cobbles. The bike's 8 gears are well spaced for town riding, and the monostrut alloy frame helps keep the weight down. The Halfway was taking everything in its stride, and even seemed to be a hit with the locals. The only slightly disappointing thing was the caliper brakes. They were rather on the soft and squidgy side. But with a folding bike, how it rides is only part of it. Of course, the proof is in the folding. That's exactly what I'm going to do right now to catch a tram. Start with the handlebars, rather nicely folding pedals. They go down there like that. Release that there. There we are. There's a bit of a fiddle with that. Sorry, goes in there. Right. Well, I think we're there. Unfortunately, I missed the tram. There, never mind, there'll be another one along in a minute. Having missed the tram, I decided to ditch the Halfway and the traffic and take a shortcut through Rome's back streets instead. Next up, the Django Flick V9. Our second commuter bike might be small in size, but it's big on tech. And to test it, I've come off the main street onto these really rather interesting cobbled streets, which normally would be a bit of a problem for a bike with these very tiny wheels. But on the Django, it's not such a problem because it's got suspension front and rear, and it's doing a great job of evening out the bumps. However, there are downsides to this magic carpet ride. The suspension adds weight and makes the steering feel vague. What the Django isn't is very stable. It's always threatening to pop a wheelie. Your centre of gravity is way over the back wheels, and then you lose your steering. Ugh. Ugh. Powerful disc brakes, though. Of course, as ever, with a folding bike, riding is only half of the story, and you can fold the Django in 2 different ways. There's a sort of wheeling mode that you can use at airports or railway stations and that sort of thing, in which case you just fold the saddle through the handlebars, you can wheel the bike round like that. Excellent. The second involves dropping the handlebars as well for a more storable package. Great for popping it into the back of a car or a taxi or a van like this. Good. Finally, with the light failing, I jumped aboard the fastest bike on test in an endeavour to get to the Colosseum before sunset. This is the Montague Fit. Most normal looking of the 3 bikes I'm trying today, but it's also the one you'll feel most instantly at home on if you're used to riding a normal bike. With its full-sized frame and cycle parts, it's made for people who want the convenience of a folding bike, but don't want to compromise on performance. It's really fast and light. I like the full-sized wheels with their minimal number of spokes. It's got 27 speeds, so it's really fast on the level, and you can change down easily for going uphill.
Its hill climbing ability is also no doubt aided by its weight. Despite it being the biggest bike on test, at just over 11 kilos, it's easily the lightest. This is a folding bike you really could use for a long-distance commute.
Of course, the price you pay for having a full-sized bike is that when you have to fold it to get to your destination, you end up with a larger bike to carry. It's not that easy to fold either. The most difficult bit is taking off the front wheel. You've got to sort of get the handlebars under your armpit. It's almost a two-person job, really.
But folding the frame is a doddle using the Montagu's patented single catch system.
There's nothing to hold it back like that. You've just got to carry it like that in one hand with the wheel in the other. Right, off to the Colosseum.
So perhaps not great for the train or bus, but OK for putting in the boot of a car or lugging down a short flight of steps. Now for the G ratings. And it's 4 Gs for the Giant Halfway. It's been built to offer the best of both worlds, and it definitely delivers. 2 Gs for the Django V9. Certainly fun over the cobbles, but vague steering and excess weight let it down. And it's 4 Gs for the Montagu Fit. Big bike performance with the added flexibility of a folding bike. Perfect